Since greatly accelerated landrise has been ongoing since April 2024, and has remained fairly constant, the first figure will represent the most likely outcome assuming that this heightened uplift continues up until its next eruption. If that were to occur, axial seamount could erupt anywhere from theoretically right now to February 2026. If, however, its uplift rate returns to its fairly average stage witnessed between most of 2021 and 2023, then axial seamount should erupt sometime before February 2028. But, in the highly unlikely event its ground deformation returns to the negligible inflation experienced during most of 2023 and parts of early 2024, then this volcano might not even erupt until November 2033. However, more and more data is increasing suggesting an eruption by February 2026 as the most likely since axial seamount is definably in its final of 3 stages of uplift before an eruption occurs. For context, its submarine basaltic lava flows during distinct eruptions generally cover several square kilometers, averages a mere 10 feet thick, and erupt a volume of between 15 and 90 million cubic meters of material. While an eruption could theoretically occur anywhere across its vast 237 square mile or 615 square kilometer edifice, the next eruption is most likely to be confined to the eastern half of its large caldera. So, with a summit at a depth of 4,547 feet, earthquakes or 1,386 meters below sea level, how will we ever know when this submarine shield volcano finally begins erupting? Simple. A very strong earthquake swarm, involving thousands of earthquakes in the timespan of only a few hours. The largest of these earthquakes is typically in the magnitude 4 range, so if you see a cluster of a half dozen magnitude 2, 3, and 4 earthquakes centered within 100 miles of the axial seamount, it is likely erupting. Now, some brief information. Axial seamount Cobb hotspot exists due to an underlying hotspot known as the Cobb hotspot, with magma merely utilizing a path of least resistance created by faults belonging to and associated with a divergent plate boundary between the Pacific Plate and Juan de Fuca Plate. Here is the vent trend from this hotspot. While caldera formation axial seamount only began forming 60,000 years ago, its caldera formed 31,200 years ago when a very large flank eruption in its northern rift zone drained a large amount of magma from its underlying magma chamber, causing the seafloor to collapse downwards to fill this empty space. Axial seamount tends to erupt about once every 10 to 15 years, with its last eruption occurring in 2015. As a final note, I would like to thank my new patron Doodle Darko for supporting this channel. English